Midway through the month of June, we are here for you. Good morning, everybody. Paul Ihander with you. Max Goren is back as well. Got the Canes championship gear on for yet another day as we're celebrating pretty much all week. If you were lucky enough to see the Cup make a few appearances yesterday, at lunchtime it was in North Hills. At dinner time it was at Raleigh Ironworks. And in the middle of all of that, Andrei Svechnikov decided that he was going to serve chicken to the masses. In which I'm like, hey, you do what you got to do. Are we not paying Andrei Svechnikov enough money where he's going to take a second job?
I think he saw Canes and he was like, "Oh, I play for them." And maybe he didn't realize it was the wrong one.
Right. There you go. So hundreds, thousands, chance to see the Canes, chance to see the Cup. It's just going place to place to place right now, about as public as it can get. And the most public event will be, of course, on Saturday morning, starting at 11 o'clock down Hillsborough Street and then culminating in a rally on Fayetteville Street in Raleigh at noonish or so. We don't know what the Canes will be riding in during the championship parade through the state capitol, if it'll be convertibles or tractors or flatbeds or bicycles or whatever it is, but we know security will be tight. We know that roads will start closing early now, as we've got an official word of the parade route. Roads will start closing as early as 5:30 downtown. I expect people to be posting up early. Here's the great news for you. If you're going to the parade and you have plans going to the parade, and I know people were calling in yesterday, they were calling in Monday saying, hey, we're coming to town. Hey, we're going to be in Raleigh for the championship parade, and you're going to watch it live. Guess what? We're going to have radio coverage for you. Right here on 99.9 The Fan. It will start at 10 o'clock. So we'll have like a pregame to the parade. And you know what that pregame is going to be like. I guarantee it. We're going to have a pregame to the parade starting at 10, parade at 11. We will be on the route in some really sweet spots along the way. And we'll give you some of that action and give you some of that vibe down there with the 99.9 The Fan crew. And that will be presented by Parkway Sleep Health Centers. So I want to thank them for jumping on board and being a sponsor for our Canes Championship Parade coverage. Again, that's on Saturday. It's going to be a big day for the Canes on Saturday, at least here on The Fan and certainly for the team. But here on The Fan at 9 o'clock on Saturday morning, we will replay our Canes Corner Live event, which about 100 to 200 got to go to for Brandon Bussey. So we'll have an hour of that conversation, Mike Maniscalco and Brandon Bussey. The Canes Corner event at 9 o'clock. Our pregame to the parade starts at 10, and then our full parade coverage starts at 11 o'clock. So there you have it. It's going to be a big Saturday. Lots of hockeying news on the Tuesday. And again, you can run it right back to the Canes and the Vegas Golden Knights. It was the most watched Stanley Cup final since 2019. This number came out last night. So in 7 years, no one cared about the Stanley Cup. Even when Florida was in it. Even when Edmonton was in it. 7 years. 7 years, the most watched Stanley Cup final series since 2019. And for Game 6, the most viewed Game 6 since the 2019 final. Each game in the series, a viewership multi-year high. You have to go back, and unfortunately it was the Canes' loss in Game 3. That was the most viewed Game 3 since 2002. The Carolina Hurricanes are a draw. Vegas helped too, not discounting Vegas. Not discounting a lot of the storylines that went along with it, but right towards the end of Game 6, there were an awful lot of people tuned in, an awful lot of people listening. We see it here too. Like, we can see those numbers with those of you who have downloaded the app and listened to us on the app, and that's what you can do, by the way. Download the app, take it to the championship parade with you, and where we're posted up, those people, especially near where we are, will get some real-time coverage. Some absolute real-time coverage for you. So we know the Canes are a draw. Absolutely. We know at some point today that Stanley Cup will be somewhere else. Saw a lot of pictures being taken with it. I suppose I should post the picture that I took with the cup, not yesterday, but prior. Superstitions, right? The superstitions are real. I took a picture with the cup as the series was getting underway, did not touch it, stood near it. That was it. Didn't jinx it. Clearly didn't jinx it. Very happy about that. So go get your picture taken with the cup. Go get your picture taken with the cup. Go make it happen. If it's somewhere and someone posts it up, especially around lunchtime, you know you can peel away. Maybe you're near your kids, hopefully. Hopefully this thing makes a bigger tour, because so far it's been just kind of right here in the center part of Raleigh. Maybe it'll go out a little bit further to the west, or maybe to the north, maybe to the wherever. Hopefully it gets a chance to visit all the Caniacs and see a few places, because you know how loyal you've been. Now, in the meantime, the NHL buyout window is now open. The NHL is moving forward with business, folks. The Canes won the Cup, and we're getting ready for a party here on Saturday, but the NHL train has rolled on. And the buyout window is open right now through June 30th. It's the first milestone on the NHL offseason calendar. In a week from now, next Friday, the NHL draft begins. And this is what I said yesterday about business for Eric Tulsky and the Carolina Hurricanes. They have picks that they need to use or they need to trade. And then by the end of that draft, they need to extend a qualifying offer, if they choose to do so, to Alexander Nikishin as a restricted free agent. And then there's arbitration, and whatever it is, free agency opens July 1st. The clock is ticking now. There is a very, very fast 2-week period coming for the Carolina Hurricanes beyond just the parade. They're going to have to make some decisions. You don't want to talk about it. You don't, because you want to feel all the goodness and all the happiness. But if you don't breach the seal on it, then you have to wonder who is going to say it out loud. Do you want to save it? Are you able to save it? You probably can't when you talk about Jesperi Kotkaniemi. You have to say it out loud. That even with the rise in the salary cap, and that will shake up how many buyouts take place, because teams can now eat a little bit of money, you have to wonder, can you let a briefcase of just under $5 million sit upstairs behind the assembled press at Lenovo Center?
I mean, I don't think they want to keep him on just to scratch him, as they were for pretty much the entire second half of the season, save for a couple games at the end of the regular season where they were resting a lot of their roster regulars. I think maybe GM Eric Tulsky and everybody in the front office, like, maybe they still think they can package him in some sort of trade. I mean, it's pretty apparent at this point that there's not really a role for him on the ice. I don't see that changing, because, again, pretty much everyone who was part of this Cup-winning roster is coming back next year. There's not really a roster spot for Jesperi Kotkaniemi. But I don't know. I feel like if buyouts were really on the table, I feel like that is something they maybe would have already done last offseason. Maybe they were still holding on hope that they could turn him into a regular contributor on this team. But now with, especially with Mark Jankowski getting the 2-year extension, it's clear that that's not really going to happen. I do wonder, again, if they think they can somehow pull off a trade.
Like
so
get
they
a pick or something?
Yes, just so they don't have that small bit of dead cap working against them for the next, it would be 8 years, I believe, that would be against their cap. And it would be less than $1 million against the salary cap, but still, you'd rather have no money on your cap sheet for somebody who's not playing for you, rather than, $400,000 or $800,000, depending on the year. I wouldn't be surprised either way. I doubt they would do it this week. They have until June 30th, I believe.
2 weeks. They have 2 weeks.
Yeah, so especially during a week with the Cup celebration, I think they probably don't necessarily make that official this week, since the celebration's coming on Saturday. So if they do end up buying him out, I think it would be something they do next week, closer to the deadline. But I don't know. Something tells me they still think they can get some kind of trade. They don't have a ton of mid to late round picks this year. In this upcoming draft, they only have
a farm system stock up, essentially.
Yeah, they only have their first round pick, a 4th round pick, and then 2 6th round picks in this year's draft. Now they have a couple extra picks in the upcoming draft. They have 2 3rd round picks in the 2027 draft. So I wonder maybe if they try to package one of those with him to try to dump that salary somewhere, and maybe get a 7th rounder in return or something like that. You know how those late round pick swaps end up going, but
yeah, this is not going to be a hockey trade.
No,
folks.
Certainly not. They would not be getting any kind of player in return in a move to offload Jesperi Kotkaniemi. But I don't know. I mean, Eric Tulsky, we know how he is with his asset management. This team, they don't overpay free agents if they don't have to, and in any trade, they're going to make sure they're getting as much value as possible back. So, yeah, I don't know if they feel they want to cut their losses and just buy him out. But I guess we'll see over the next 2 weeks. Either they will or they won't, and then we'll see if they end up moving him or if they do feel comfortable keeping a guy who ultimately is an extra forward around for just under $5 million a year.
That's an awful lot of money to be sitting upstairs, considering there was not a lot of combined money. If he's not sitting, if he's on the ice and upstairs sitting, it's not that much, and he is right in the middle of the Carolina Hurricanes kind of cap structure when it comes to the forward group at $4.8 million, and he has a modified no trade clause too. That's the other thing that will kick in the new year. So if they choose to buy him out, yes, there would be a cap hit, but with the Carolina Hurricanes cap space, $1 million doesn't feel like that much anymore in the NHL. That is one of the decisions that Eric Tulsky and his team will have to make. The other one is, when it comes around to it, restricted free agency. The qualifying offers now are due no later than June 29th. The buyout window ends on the 30th. The RFAs is June 29th when it comes to Carolina Hurricanes. The Carolina Hurricanes have a couple of names. They have a couple of names that you will remember at least making some sort of like small like waves when it comes to the big club. Caden Primo. Remember Caden Primo? Caden Primo. You might know another name here. Skylar Brindamore. Restricted free agent. Arbitration eligible. And Alexander Nikishin. Alexander Nikishin is a restricted free agent. It looks like if that deal gets done, and I feel fairly confident that will happen, that it would be 4 years. 4 years to take him to unrestricted free agency in the 2029 season. If the cards play right, and if Rod Brindamore walks into Eric Tulsky's office and says he's making all the right moves and all the right strides in his growth in the NHL. And Alexander Nikishin is the youngest defenseman on this team right now. Absolute youth. Keandre Miller's 26. Nikishin is 24. Everybody else is in their early 30s. So if you look at growth charts and where you normally see trends for NHLers, if they continue to grow in the positive direction, he'll hit his prime when he hits unrestricted free agency. And he'll have tried to earn that paycheck as the cap continues to grow if he becomes that KHL superstar that everybody thought he was when he translates and moves into the NHL, and he's got a full season and a full Stanley Cup run under his belt. You're going to learn something from somebody at some point. But if you believe that he is in the core, that restricted free agency number, I do not feel will fall under Walks, Shane Gostisbehere, Jalen Chatfield, all of those guys making under $4 million. At least for me, if you fully believe in it, because of what now is considered the going rate for players and the fact that there's a really, really light free agency class this year if you're looking to make some sort of upgrade. Someone could offer sheet Nikishin. They absolutely could. I highly doubt it, but someone could do it, man.
Well, he's not offer sheet eligible.
No, you're right. He's not. You're right. He's not.
Because of the,
you're
what
right.
is it? Is it 10.2? I don't know what the abbreviation
You're right. He
is.
isn't. You're right. I take that back.
But,
he is ineligible.
Yeah, because of his unique situation with coming over kind of later on from overseas from Russia.
You're right. I misspoke on that.
He can't be offer sheeted. So, again, for Carolina, it's either sign him or
let him walk.
If you didn't feel like bringing him back, which they almost certainly will, it would honestly be incredibly bizarre if they just decided to not bring Alexander Nikishin back. They basically have like almost fully exclusive rights to him as a free agent, and then the only other way he would be moved out is if it were a trade, and they would not move Alexander Nikishin unless they were getting back something really, 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 really good. I don't know if they're trying to make a swing like that at this point in time. I think you'd rather have the young
Well, you want John Carlson, don't
the young
you?
physical
Don't
defensive.
you
Well,
want
he's
John
a free
Carlson?
agent. Well,
He is a free agent. He is a free agent. He's looking to get $9 million.
Okay, no, I'm.
You're not paying that price for John Carlson?
He's 36 years old.
I absolutely agree with you there.
I think we'll pass on that. think we're set.
All right. So those are the big notable dates. Those are the big swings that the Canes need to deal with. The Canes' foes out here in the Eastern Conference making some moves yesterday. John Chaika in Toronto has said later today that, did they just make a hire?
Yes, Jim
They
Hiller
just made a
is
hire.
going to be the new head coach for Toronto Maple Leafs, former LA Kings coach from the last couple of years.
So there you go. Yeah, Joe Pavelski was being brought up in that conversation. Jim Hiller, yeah, this is in the last 10 minutes. So Toronto Maple Leafs make a trade yesterday. They trade Joey Wall to Philadelphia. They get perhaps some youth and some puck movement. They also got some cap space as well because they were right up against it.
That had to be nothing more than a cap dump because they got Samuel Ersson, the goaltender, back, who, in terms of advanced statistics, like one of the worst goaltenders in the NHL last year.
The fourth worst, I believe.
Like Wall was like a decent tandem goalie, and then they move him and Simone Benoit. It's got to be mostly just a cap dump for them.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like to me.
$4 million, I think.
Yeah, and the guys they get back, I think, are unsigned for next season. So I don't think they'll be keeping Ersson around. At least I don't think that's what the intention is. And then now they've got the new head coach this morning with Jim Hiller. A lot of new stuff going on over there in Toronto. We got the obviously new GM in John Chaika, which was controversial in its own right. And we'll see if they can get things back together after they kind of had a disaster season and bottomed out after they broke up their core four up there.
Well, lots of news. Lots of hockey news starting today, which is great. Keep the train rolling and right on through the Canes championship parade.
I'm Max Goren with 3 things you need to know right now from 99.9 The Fan. The parade route for the Carolina Hurricanes Stanley Cup celebration was announced yesterday. Festivities will start at the intersection of St. Mary's Street and Hillsborough Street before making its way down to City Plaza for a rally. For all the details on Saturday's championship celebration, tap into the 99.9 The Fan app or visit 999thefan.com. Soccer's biggest stars shined yesterday at the FIFA World Cup, with France's Kylian Mbappe, Norway's Erling Haaland, and Argentina's Lionel Messi all scoring multiple goals. Stay tuned for updates all tournament long here on 99.9 The Fan, brought to you by NC Courage and Wake Orthopedics. UNC baseball faces off with West Virginia in Omaha this afternoon, where a win would put the Tar Heels into the final series of the College World Series. A Carolina loss would set up an elimination game rematch with the Mountaineers tomorrow. Georgia or Oklahoma will await the winner of UNC or West Virginia in the final series. For all the latest news on your favorite teams, download the 99.9 The Fan app or visit 999thefan.com.
The College World Series in Omaha, one of baseball's best spectacles in my eyes, is underway in Nebraska, and you've got a local team out there in the Final Four, so to speak. That's a word that comes up every once in a while with Carolina. Carolina taking on West Virginia today in the first of a doubleheader in Omaha. If Carolina wins, they will advance to the best-of-3 championship round starting on Saturday in Omaha. And we will be right here on 99.9 The Fan, the home of the College World Series championship round. Georgia, Oklahoma is the nightcap. Joining us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline to talk about it is our good friend, and we haven't had a chance to check in with him for a while, but I know he loves his baseball. From Inside Carolina, podcast host, editor, and personality, Tommy Ashley. Good morning, Tommy.
Good morning, Paul. How are you? I don't know about personality, but that was a great intro there.
Hey, you know what? Every once in a while, a squirrel finds a nut, Tommy. Hey, listen, this is a team, this Carolina baseball team, and Scott Forbes' team. They've already taken out West Virginia once in Omaha. They've got to do it again this time, and they've tapped Folger Boaz to get it done. There's a little concern, though, that he might have a little rust, Tommy.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks since he's thrown, but he was good the last time he went out against East Carolina, and Forbes trusts him. Forbes and Gaines and that coaching staff trust him wholeheartedly. And the good thing about it is Folger can go out there and play free, and then you've got everybody else, except maybe Jason DeCaro or Ryan Lynch behind him ready to go. So Carolina's set up well because West Virginia's got one of their aces throwing today, and it should be interesting.
So West Virginia, when you look up and down their lineup, it didn't feel like they were clicking at all in the first meeting in Omaha with Carolina. And you look at West Virginia's lineup, nobody in that lineup hits below 275. Kind of what went wrong in that one for the Mountaineers against the Heels?
2 errors, just 2 huge errors there that sort of flipped the script. It was just a classic back and forth, slow baseball game, and then the errors happened, and Carolina capitalized. But you get out here, everybody talks about the park. It's not the park, it's the wind. And we can attest that the wind howls. It absolutely howls in that park, and depending on which direction it's blowing, it could have a lot of pop-ups or a lot of deep fly balls. So but you got to play clean in the field, and that's what West Virginia couldn't get done against Carolina earlier.
Jake Schaffner leading off still. The name always seems to come up during the postseason in Gavin Gallagher, who's batted second here throughout the Omaha series. For him, it's just about kind of being that veteran presence in that lineup, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's done it before. He's a guy that can go 0 for 3 with a strikeout, didn't have the biggest hit of the game, and he did that the other day. He's done it countless times in the postseason. But you're right, having a veteran presence that's been here. Carolina's an older team, except for a couple of the pitchers, but obviously the pitchers are freshmen with Rose and Glauber. But when you've been here and you've done it, nothing really phases you. And Gavin is one of those guys that he's steady no matter what. I mean, we see him on the field before the games. We see him in the press conferences after the games. We see him at the hotel. He's the same guy constantly, never up, never too far up, too far down. And it helps because it's pressure packed out here, and today will be another one of those opportunities for him.
Tommy Ashley of Inside Carolina joining us this morning talking about UNC baseball in Omaha at the College World Series, 1 win away from reaching the final series in Omaha. And Tommy, with the format and with it being double elimination and knowing that Carolina needs just 1 win and potentially would have a second opportunity tomorrow if they're not able to get it done tonight, if it is a safe scenario, a 1-run game down the stretch, do you anticipate we would see Caden Glauber on the mound for the Tar Heels, or are you thinking perhaps they will try to save his arm as long as possible, knowing that there could be a second game tomorrow?
I'd be shocked if that situation comes up. He's not out there. I mean, he's the best arm that Carolina has. West Virginia couldn't touch him a couple of days ago. And Scott Forbes said or told us yesterday in the availability, you push all the chips in basically to win this game. And if you don't win it, you worry about tomorrow. And Carolina's taking that approach. And so I absolutely think Glauber will be out there in a big situation like that. He's the best they've got. And for him to do what he's done all year, but do what he did a couple of days ago, 100% he'd be out there.
Tommy Ashley, Inside Carolina, joining us here next up here on 99.9 The Fan. Draw me a comparison, Tommy, between the run in 2024 and the team and the run now that this team is making here in 2026. Is there a major difference between those two squads? Because I remember in 24, they ran up against that tough Tennessee Vols team and really just couldn't shake that one off.
Yeah, I think that was, Tennessee was just a different class in 2024, size-wise, production-wise, and Carolina was sort of overwhelmed against those guys. And they were in a situation where you start getting into the pitching, it's not throwing as well, and then Tennessee's doing what they do. Out here in this run, Carolina's gotten it done in every different way. They can hit a home run to win a game. They can beat you because you made an error, like we saw. They can play small ball. And then, of course, the pitching that Carolina's got is just, I don't want to say infinitely better than 2024, but it's deeper, and you've got more superstars on there. And so they've been able to handle business out here. And they're on a different bracket, so they only have to play one of those big teams if they get beyond West Virginia. So it's a situation where it's set up nicely for Carolina, where in 24, that was just too tough a gauntlet to run through.
ACC's Final Hope with final 4 teams remaining. The College World Series in Omaha. Carolina playing West Virginia today. That's a 2 o'clock first pitch. Georgia, Oklahoma, battle of SEC teams at 7 o'clock tonight. Tommy, you mentioned Omaha and the win, and I said it was one of baseball's one of better spectacles. They managed to shove 25,000 people in for every game out there. describe that feeling when you walk into Rosenblatt and you see that sea of fans and you know that they're there for one reason only, and that's to watch some really quality baseball.
Yeah, it's in Charles Schwab now, not Rosenblatt.
Oh, right,
but it is it's unbelievable. I would tell anybody that's a college baseball fan or a baseball fan in general, maybe even if your team's not out here, to come see it. It's one of those things. The entire town is all about the baseball. The fan bases are all together. It's just a mass of people, and the field is amazing. It's an amazing place to see a game, and we have the opportunity covering it to be down on the field both before and after the games, and just to see the crowd, to see the interest in baseball and college baseball specifically is just unbelievable, and they do it right. I mean, spoke to an owner of one of the famous establishments here that may have something to do with the Jello shots, and they said they do 90 to 95% of their year's business in these 2 weeks, and you can tell because the place are packed out, and they treat everybody so nice out here. It is flat. It is windy. The weather's been perfect this week. We'll see if that holds up. But it's definitely a must-do if you're a college baseball fan.
You know, I haven't checked the chalkboard. How's Carolina doing with the Jello shots?
I think we saw they were fifth, maybe. We started them off right on Thursday, but then the West Virginia crowd, with the help of their ESPN celebrity, has sort of took that mantle, and I don't think anybody's going to get there on that. But it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Jello shots a little overrated, especially if you do too many of them. But it's a fun time for sure.
Oh, seems like you're enjoying it. Tommy Ashley inside Carolina here as Carolina gets ready to take on West Virginia and perhaps advance to the College World Series championship round. Always great to catch up with you, Tommy. Enjoy the game today.
Yeah, man. You'll be good.
All right. Tommy Ashley from Omaha. Carolina, again, taking on West Virginia. They knocked them off earlier in the series. It's 5-2. See if they can do it again today. If they win today, they automatically move on to the best of three, which starts on Saturday night. We will have all that coverage for you right here on 99.9 The Fan.